Hello, everyone. I'm back. So I've been staying out of politics for the past couple months. I've just been doing movie reviews. So I guess it's time to start talking about politics because that's genuinely how I started my channel. So first of all, I want to go and say I'm not politically biased, right? I tend to try to see both sides of the spectrum. I try my best to give both sides the benefit of the doubt. The left side and the right side. It is 4 a.m. where I am, and I didn't get that much sleep, so I woke up to this news of Trump supposedly circumventing government shutdown funds to aid his hotel property. Now, just like all things on the internet, everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Like, nothing should be taken too seriously because you don't know if it's any truth on it or not, because there could be some bias on one side and a bias on another side. And with today's on the internet that we have, not everything is as it seems. Some things could be just made up just to give one side political gain or one side political blame, depending on what side you're on. But I will say this, as far as the government shutdown goes. So, most of us know, if you've been alive or you've been paying attention, that the Trump administration has basically cut off over 400,000 employees, federal employees, who did not get a paycheck because they supposedly want to fund the wall, and to punish the government, they decided to cut 400,000 workers who needed that paycheck. So it doesn't really matter what side of the spectrum you're on, whether to the left or right. We all got to admit, like, not giving 400,000 employees a paycheck for Christmas. Christmas is a time we're supposed to spend with our family. We're supposed to get together. Supposed to, enjoy the holidays, but, not good old Trump. Now, when Donald Trump first became president, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. He did say some dumb things, and I do agree with some things that he's done. But I will say, personally, about 60% of his policies that he has passed, I do not agree with. And to me personally, that is more than any president since I've been alive. I've been alive since the Reagan years, the Clinton years, all the way to Bush, Obama, and Donald Trump. And I think Donald Trump so far is possibly the worst president in my eyes. I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm not saying that because I'm politically biased. Believe it or not, I actually lean more towards Republican. I'm actually more of a right-wing guy. But sometimes I do agree with the left. I say that because we live in an age where people are just separated. They're divided. If you're not a right wing or left wing, if you're one or the other, you're going to get discriminated by the other, supposedly. But I don't give a shit about that. I'm going to say my political opinion, and I don't give a shit what people say. But in this article, it states, Trump throws Twitter temper tantrum as House Democrats take control. So, Trump supposedly in this article cut off so many employees to pay for his wall. Well, the article also states that he cut off funding just to pay for his hotel property, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because Donald Trump, as we know, is not taking any presidential paycheck. He is paying himself through his own property, through his own business, right? And that's how he's funding himself as a president. Hold on, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense if this is true, because if Donald Trump is really doing this, why didn't he just accept the paycheck he was supposed to get as president and use that to pay for his property? And you'd think that would make more sense, right? So far, Mr. Trump doesn't seem very good when it comes to finances. I mean, you can say what you want about that, but so far, for a man that has claimed bankruptcy at least 3 times in his life, and for people to say that he's so good with money, I clearly don't see that he's good with money at all. For someone who has billions of dollars, not only am I envious, but I just don't understand how someone can make so many mistakes as far as money goes. Because you would think you're going to be president, so you might as well take a paycheck since you can't really be there for your property or business that much because you have to be president, right? So that's why this article doesn't really make sense to me. So what I'm saying is I kind of think this article is bullshit. I don't think there's much truth for it. I mean, there is a lot of investigations going on. Granted, I'm saying that also, Trump is in a lot of hot water. He's going through a lot of investigations with his administration. He's firing people left and right. People are leaving. We just had Mad Dog Mattis. If I said his name wrong, I'm sorry. He resigned. And he was the perfect guy for the job, right? So I can see where people are coming from. I can see that maybe this does look bad on Trump. Maybe he is doing something wrong. Maybe he actually is doing this. Knowing what type of guy he is, maybe he is somehow trying to swindle money into his funds, even though he did pass a legislation a couple months ago basically giving rich people more money. If you don't know anything that's been going on with Trump, like most of the policies he's been passing basically benefit the rich. So there's that aspect. It doesn't really make sense. Like, if you were going to do this to begin with, why didn't you just accept your presidential paycheck to begin with? You would think, right? You would think. But no, not all good Trump, right? So I also have this is the same article on my phone, only it's easier to read because for some reason this article is all over the place. There's so much clickbaity shit over here, and I really hate it when articles do that, but it's basically saying the same thing. So it says right here, the shutdown is only because of the 2020 presidential election. The Democrats know they can't win based on all of the achievements of Trump, so they are going all out on the desperately needed wall and border security, a presidential harassment for them, strictly politics. I don't know, man. I don't think you're understanding your situation. I clearly see an impeachment coming. And like I said, I'm both left and right, I'm right smack in the middle. So I kind of see that this entire article is bullshit. Right here, Trump basically buries himself deeper in a hole by saying this. He shouldn't have just said anything. Like, just don't say it. Sometimes not saying anything at all helps you win. But Trump just doesn't know when to stop. And that's the funny part. So, if all these people are replying, still can't believe Trump is president. What is that? Oh, it's flop sweat. Replying, when they shut down the government, guess who still gets a paycheck? Which is true. So, when the government shut down for these past couple weeks, which is probably, in my eyes, the longest government shutdown I have ever seen. When Obama was president, as I remember, it barely lasted a week. From what I remember. If I'm wrong, comment in the comments below and tell me what an idiot I am. I love that shit. But, yeah, this government shutdown's been lasting for a couple weeks. A lot of people didn't get their paychecks for their holidays. And it's not looking good for Mr. Trump. No. All these rich people are still getting their paychecks. And us poor people, middle class people, we need our paychecks. That's how we live. You have all these people saying he should resign. You out quotes in wrong places. There should be achievements of Trump, not achievements of Trump. Yeah, he's not really good at grammar. Wait, I get the quotation marks now. It's because anything done is actually Putin and other donor achievements, right? Power of lies. I don't know, guys. It's not looking good for Mr. Trump. Especially this year. The first year, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I saw him pass a few legislations, a few laws, and I saw him do some good, but to believe it or not, a lot of his achievements are thanks to other presidents, not him, and he's taking all the credit for it. For most of you who don't know, is that usually when a president does something, it really doesn't get into effect or gets noticed until the next president. You can say what you want about the border security, the wall, but Trump cutting out 400,000 workers and those people not getting a paycheck. I don't know how accurate that number is, because like I said, nothing on the internet should be taken seriously. Everything should be taken with a grain of salt. It's all really in a point of view, really. But then again, all these news outlets are really attacking Trump. Like, from the get-go, from the very moment he became president, they started attacking Trump. But the same thing happened with Obama. It happened with Bush. It's happened to basically every other president. The only difference is Bush, Obama, and Trump were presidents in the day and age when social media was becoming a thing, right? It became more of a thing with Obama. It was just rising up with Bush. But now, most people nowadays are on the internet. Most people have access to the internet. Most people are able to voice their opinion. Nothing has changed. If you think more people are being racist, or if there's so much bad in the world, or there's so much douchebags in the world, nothing has changed. It's just social media gave people the option to finally talk to each other, to interact with each other without actually going outside. The other thing that's been happening is most of the racism and all the shit that's been happening is being recorded, because now we all have cell phones that actually fucking works really well, and we can make movies out of them, and we also have GoPros and shit, so we're able to record shit. Nothing has changed. Racism hasn't changed. It's just being recorded, and we know that. And that's the same thing with social media. It's just, we're seeing more and more of it because people are able to interact with each other now. These people have already existed, like all the racist people, all the people with political bias, all that. It's all existed before. But what does that have to do with this? Well, because I am seeing both sides of the spectrum here. This article could be bullshit. It could. But then again, Trump buries himself. And then again, Trump buries himself again when this article claims that Trump is circumventing government funds to aid his hotel property, which makes no sense, because why would Trump do that? Like I said, he's supposed to be a rich guy. He should have accepted this presidential paycheck, but he didn't. This is a guy that everyone says is good with money, but he's clearly not good with money. This is a guy that's basically using all these tariffs on all these countries and causing people to lose their jobs and causing corporations and businesses to struggle because of his decisions. It's not looking good for Mr. Trump. It's not looking good. But I do try to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I truly believe that what he thinks he's doing is the right thing, and so does his followers, right? As I said, I agree with some of the things that he's done, but most of it, like I said, 60% of it, it's not looking good for you, Mr. Trump. It's the power of lies. So he's circumventing all his funds to his political gain. His administration is quitting, being fired left and right, Mad Dog and everybody. But we're also living in a day and age where anything can be deceived. Like, this article can be totally made up, and Trump probably didn't say this. It's probably a made-up Twitter account. You never know. But I'm thinking that's not the case, because we're seeing more and more of this shit. I saw people say some bad things about Obama. Actually, I saw a fuck ton of people say bad things about Obama. But I feel personally that it's getting worse with Trump. It's not just a he said, she said type thing. It's getting blatantly obvious. He's basically pissing off the entire planet. He's pissing off the United Nations, in which the United States started in the first place. He's fucking our veterans dry, and I'm one of them. I mean, he didn't fuck me personally. I've been doing fine on my own the past couple of years. But now all this, to cut off 400,000 employees just to fund for your wall. People that need paychecks to pay for their kids, to pay for presents, to be with family. You could say that's selfish, but you gotta admit, Christmas is the one time a year in America where we can all be with our family, besides Thanksgiving, and just enjoy the holidays. But this holiday, or over 400,000 people did not get to enjoy their holiday. And now some of them are even suing the Trump administration, which is probably not going to go anywhere because it's kind of hard to sue the president. But you just never fucking know. Never fucking know, man. So you should look up these articles yourself. I'll give you here's a little picture of it. Trump throws Twitter temper tantrum as House Democrats take control. And here's another YouTube video. Trump caught circumventing government shutdown funds to aid his hotel property. You can take this all with a grain of salt. You can use your own logic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're for Trump or against Trump or whatever, left wing or right wing or whatever. It's all in perspective, man. And from my perspective, it's not looking good for Mr. Trump and his administration. I've seen impeachment coming on, and this is probably the start of it. And if he is really doing this, if he's really taking his government funds and to aid his hotel property, if he's really doing that, the only thing I can ask is, how is he not going to get impeached for this?